Hello everyone, this is Dr. Nasser, and in this clip we are going to focus on normal white blood cells. And the white blood cell that you see on the screen is a segmented neutrophil. The nucleus, you can see it is segmented. There is one distinct lobe in this corner, and there are no other lobes, but you can have in a normal segmented neutrophil up to 5 segmentations or lobes. If you see more than 5 segmentation in neutrophil, that is referred to as hypersegmented neutrophil, and usually is going to be indicative of a condition or an abnormal state of a disease. What it is important, of course, you should realize that neutrophils are phagocytic cells. You can see a lot of phagosomes in here that appear like large vacuoles. But the key that you have to notice is the presence of the granulations in the cytoplasm of this neutrophil. Some granules are dark. They can be even larger than this. These are primary granules. During the process of development in bone marrow, neutrophils go through various stages. One of those stages is going to be promyelocyte. And in that stage, neutrophils develop their primary granules, but at the end of the promyelocytic stage, the primary granule production halts. And as the white blood cell divides further, the amount and number of these primary granules is going to reduce. So if you observe a white blood cell with many primary granules, it usually suggests that the white blood cell did not go through that many divisions, and often that may be seen in conditions in which the bone marrow tries to release the neutrophils into the circulation as quickly as possible because the body is dealing with some sort of infection or condition. We have 2 platelets in here as well. They appear to be slightly larger than your average platelet. Now I would like to attempt to find another cell and compare the new cell, the new white blood cell, with this segmented neutrophil. In here what we have is a resting lymphocyte. And I am going to increase the light slightly. There would be a second that you can see the architecture of the nucleus. And you can see that the nucleus, first of all, is round with dark areas and lighter areas. And that is the characteristic of a resting lymphocyte's nucleus. The cytoplasm is scant, just a rim on the periphery of the cell, usually has basophilia, bluish in color. And you can see this is nothing that appears to be similar to a neutrophil. Neutrophil and lymphocytes are both part of the normal white blood cell population. However, they will have primary functions to perform in various conditions. For instance, neutrophils are quite often involved in responding to bacterial infection, while lymphocytes are seen in more of viral infections. But by no means I am trying to suggest that in a viral condition neutrophils have no function, and in bacterial condition infections the lymphocytes have no functions. I am not saying that they all have functions, but primarily one cell type will be involved in responding to a different condition. In the case of neutrophil, bacterial infection. In the case of lymphocytes, viral infection. But immune system works as an orchestra does. An orchestra is just not the violin player or the piano player or the brass players. An orchestra is a collection of all these different components. So is the immune system. I will try to find other cells in the field to show you, but I would like to point out that a resting lymphocyte, like the one that you see in here, is a naive lymphocyte, which means is not responding to any specific challenge in this stage. As the lymphocyte becomes activated, it will go through morphogenesis, changes its shape, its appearance, its size, the amount of cytoplasm, and the nuclear pattern is going to change. And at that point, we refer to that as a reactive lymphocyte. But in this stage that you're looking on the screen, this is a classic resting lymphocyte. This is an artifact in here. This is nothing. Perhaps remnants of the stain that was left. I don't want to go to the thin area too much. We do see another lymphocyte in here. Is slightly larger lymphocyte. However, I do not call this reactive lymphocyte yet. It is not big enough. The cytoplasm has not increased as much as I would like to see in a reactive lymph, but this is relatively a large lymphocyte. In here, we do see another segmented neutrophil. You do see one segmentation in this corner, and the rest of the nucleus is not segmented. As this white blood cell, this segmented neutrophil becomes older, the nucleus will go through further segmentations. In here, you also observe there are more primary granules. These large bright granules that you can see in the cytoplasm, these are primary granules that are left from the promyelocytic stage of neutrophil maturation. You do see other granules in here that are smaller in size and lighter in color. These are secondary granules, and you even see tertiary granules that gives this pinkish appearance, pinkish purplish appearance in the background. And when you're trying to identify the white blood cells, you need to pay attention not only to the nucleus size and shape and the chromatin pattern, but also the presence of the granulations in the cytoplasm. The type of granulation you have in the cytoplasm, in my opinion, is as important as the shape and the size of the nucleus. Another neutrophil is seen in here. However, this neutrophil is slightly different in a sense that the nucleus is not segmented, and this is a band neutrophil, one stage younger than the segmented neutrophil. As this band neutrophil that has a continuous nucleus, thin continuous nucleus that is not segmented, goes further in the maturation process, the nucleus will become segmented. You can see the presence of the primary granules, you can see the presence of the secondary granules, and of course the tertiary granules are also present in this case. Overall, these neutrophils that we have seen so far indicate the presence of what we refer to as toxic granulation. And that is the abundance of these granules, and usually toxic granulation is seen in conditions which the neutrophils are fighting some sort of infection. And I will report toxic granulation on this smear as well.